How does a man go from this to this?
I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd.
And why do we love Quentin Tarantino's writing?
Hi guys, it's Zimran Jacob. Welcome to my channel where I break down films and shows from a writer's perspective. Today we're talking about Pulp Fiction and mirror scenes. And what is a mirror scene? A mirror scene or mirroring scenes are two scenes that show the change of a character. So when you're writing a story, you want to have an arc. You want to have that character go through something and change as a person. And that's what a mirror scene kind of addresses, and I'm going to break down what that is in this video. And we're talking about Pulp Fiction, written by Quentin Tarantino, an amazing movie, and kind of popularized the non-linear style. Pulp Fiction is about an intersection of the story of multiple criminals, a gangster's wife, and a boxer. Ultimately, what Quentin Tarantino was trying to do with this movie was take very prototypical stories and put a major twist on them. And a major motif in this movie is mistakes. A lot of these characters are making major mistakes. Some of them survive their mistakes and some of them do not survive their mistakes. And that is kind of explored in these scenes, and it's a recurring theme that Quentin Tarantino is very good at highlighting. And there's a thematic reason that he does this. Ultimately, these scenes build upon each other, and at least one character has a huge arc. And let's jump into that right now. Let me set up this scene. We have Jules on the left, played by Samuel L. Jackson, and Vincent on the right, played by John Travolta. And they are here to do an interrogation and maybe a recovery of Marcellus Wallace's property and maybe something else. And we're going to find that out in this scene.
Hey, kids. How you boys doing? Hey, keep chilling.
One thing to note here is he's coming in this very friendly manner. Phil Lamar let him into the apartment, but he's coming in and starting off very friendly. That's a good starting point.
You know who we are?
So we immediately established some discomfort with the Frank Whaley character. We were wondering why Samuel L. Jackson is here, why these two men just came in, but we can already sense the tension because Jules has to say, "Oh, be comfortable, be calm." It's clearly going to be a tense scene.
We're associates of your business partner, Marcellus Wallace. You do remember your business partner, don't you? Now let me take a wild guess here. You're Brett, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. You remember your business partner, Marcellus Wallace, don't you, Brett?
Yeah.
So Brett already has kind of a grim look on his face. He is not responding to a lot of Samuel L. Jackson's questions. We kind of know that he has a guilty conscience, and that is a dynamic that's going to play out in the rest of the scene.
Yeah, I remember.
Good. Looks like me and Vincent caught you boys at breakfast. Sorry about that. What you having?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers! The cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. What kind of hamburgers?
Cheeseburgers.
No. Where'd you get them? McDonald's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box? Where?
So again, this is an interrogation, but it's all done under the guise of friendship. We're just talking about burgers here. This isn't going to be that insidious, but really it is. The subtext is that we are in charge. We're standing over you. We came into your house. We're associates of your business partner. You have a guilty conscience about that. We're here to rectify that situation.
Big Kahuna Burger.
Big Kahuna Burger. That's that Hawaiian burger joint. I hear they got some tasty burgers. I ain't never had one myself. How are they?
They're good.
You mind if I try one of yours? This is yours here, right?
He makes a request. It's clearly not a request. He's demanding it, really. And, Brett has no choice but to acquiesce. And, look at these guys. They're a bunch of criminals hanging around, eating burgers. This is what the Republican Party is afraid of, by the way. People not working jobs, turning to crime.
This is a tasty burger. Vincent, you ever had a Big Kahuna burger? Want a bite? They're real tasty.
Ain't hungry.
Well, if you like burgers, give them a try sometime. Me? I can't usually get them because my girlfriend's a vegetarian, which pretty much makes me a vegetarian. But I do love the taste of a good burger. Mm. You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese and France?
So this is a callback to an earlier scene in the movie where Vincent was talking about having burgers in France, and they called a quarter pounder with cheese a Royale with cheese. This video is brought to you by the Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. It's great with heroin. The subtext here is, I'm your friend. I'm just here hanging out, having your burger. Maybe the subtext is Jules is kind of asserting dominance here, asserting himself over Brett, but still with the charming veneer of friendship.
France.
No.
Tell him, Vincent.
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. You know why they call it that?
Because of the metric system?
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker. That's right. The metric system.
Now he compliments him, but Brett knows this is not going to end out well for him. Even if he is complimented by Jules for now, he kind of knows that there's a condescending tone to what Jules is saying.
Send this.
Sprite.
Sprite, good. You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Again, this is not a request. This is more of a demand, since Jules is clearly in charge. Not only does Brett have a guilty conscience, but Jules is also connected to Marcellus Wallace, a known gangster.
Go right ahead.
Again, the subtext is, I'm in charge. I kind of own you. I'll drink your milkshake. I'll eat your burger. Well, drink your soda, really. The subtext is that he's in charge, that he'll play with his food.
And hit the spot. You, flock of seagulls. You know why we're here? Why don't you tell my man Vince here where you got the shit hid at?
It's over there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
So in that moment, he absolutely flips. He's usually at least has the veneer of charm and friendliness, but Marvin says something and Jules flips out. He says, I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. And there's a distinct change in his tone. Tactics are going to start to get a little bit more aggressive.
You were saying?
It's in the cupboard. No, the one by your knees.
So this is what's known as a MacGuffin. We never see what's in the case, but it is the driving force for the whole movie. Everybody's trying to get the case in some way, and we never learn what's in the case. You know, some people speculate it's a bunch of gold. Some people speculate it's jewelry. Obviously, people know that it's valuable. Some people speculate that it's Marcellus Wallace's soul. Some people say it's just a light bulb in a briefcase. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments.
We happy? Vincent! We happy?
Yeah, we happy. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't get your name. I got yours, Vincent, right? But I never got your...
My name's Pitt, and your ass ain't talking your way out of this shit.
No.
So no matter how clever these lines are, they are always trying to serve Jules's purpose in the scene. One, recover the briefcase, and two, the thing he's about to do next.
I just want you to know how... I just want you to know how sorry we are that things got so fucked up with us and Mr. Wallace. When we got into this thing with the best intentions, really. I never...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
So here we have another major escalation where he shoots the guy on the couch. That's what you get for not working hard. Look, crime doesn't pay, you know? You can't just sit around and smoke weed all day. You got to grow up at some point. He didn't get a chance to grow up. He got popped, but it's a little bit of an escalation on the rest of the scene. It all gets more intense from here.
I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue.
He goes back to his kind of charming, oh, did I break your concentration? Again, under the guise of familiarity and politeness, but clearly his actions show that he's in power, obviously a homicidal maniac. There's a huge contrast between what he's saying and what he's doing, and that is what makes the scene extremely dynamic.
You were saying something about best intentions? What's the matter? Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
But I know this movie is definitely trying to make it look like it. And maybe it's succeeding. The interrogation gets more intense as he shoots Brett in the shoulder and asks him if Marcellus Wallace looks like a bitch. He's trying to get the confession out of him, and he's getting more and more aggressive.
You read the Bible, Brett. Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
So why does Jules say this? I mean, there's can be a lot of interpretations, but I think that he is coping with the evil that he's doing in the world by saying, I am God, I'm God-like, I'm invoking God in order to kill you. This is going to be mirrored in a later scene when he says the same words, but you're going to see there's a distinction in the way that he says it and what happens. Ultimately, he's going to explain why he says this, and he's going to interpret his own actions. He kills Brett because he wanted the rest of the Kahuna burger. But Marcellus Wallace put a hit on Brett for stealing from him. He's ultimately there to not only punish Brett, but also to discourage anybody else from stealing from Marcellus Wallace. And one of the amazing things about this movie is that it intersects a bunch of different timelines. So we see different perspectives of what happens. And we, later in the movie, we actually come back to the same scene and see it from a completely different perspective.
Yes! Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
So we see this guy with a gun in the bathroom listening to Jules say all these things, and he's going to react to all of this.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Die, you motherfucker!
So this guy comes in, he's got stormtrooper level aim and completely misses with each shot. And this is kind of actually a turning point in the movie. A lot of Jules' change happens within one day. All of these actions happen within one day. This is a huge turning point, and Jules is going to explain it in a second after he does this one thing really quickly.
You see the size of that gun he fired at us? It was bigger than him. We should be fucking dead, man.
I know, we was lucky.
No. That shit wasn't luck.
Yeah, maybe.
This was divine intervention. You know what divine intervention is?
I think so. That means that God came down from heaven and stopped the bullets?
That's right. That's exactly what it means. God came down from heaven and stopped these motherfucking bullets.
I think it's time for us to leave, Jules.
Don't do that. Don't fucking blow this shit off. What?
After the missed shooting, it starts a new scene between Jules and Vince. And really, it's very simple dynamics. Jules wants Vince to accept that this was a miracle, and Vincent just wants to get out of there.
What just happened here was a fucking miracle.
Chill, Jules. This shit happens.
Wrong. Wrong. This shit doesn't just happen.
Do you want to continue this theological discussion in a car or in a jailhouse with the cops?
We should be fucking dead, my friend. What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
It's so funny. I mean, it's such a simple scene, but it's so funny. And this is kind of a major turning point in the movie as far as Jules' arc, because he starts to believe that God is trying to tell him something, that God is saving him from something. He starts to question his life of crime and his violent actions.
Let's go, nigga. Come on. Shit.
So that is an intermediary scene. This is a mirror scene to the earlier scene, because you're going to hear the same quote, but in a completely different context. And just to set this up, these are kind of burgeoning criminals. They're just starting to rob. And at the beginning of the movie, there was a little teaser of them starting to steal from this diner. They're not career criminals yet, but they may be if they go down the wrong track. And that is the setup for this scene.
In the bag. What's in the case?
My boss's dirty laundry.
Your boss makes you do his laundry?
When he wants it clean.
Sounds like a shit job.
Funny, I was thinking the same thing.
We see Jules is caught up in the robbery. We kind of know from what we've seen earlier in the movie that this guy might be in some trouble.
Open it.
Afraid I can't do that.
And also he says, I'm starting to think that my job might not be as good as it is. You start to see that he's already gone through this process of change, which is kind of his character arc. It's just so subtle, but extremely well written. You know, when you're writing your own scripts, you can kind of think about your character arc and how their psychology changes and how that reflects in their dialogue and their behavior.
I didn't hear you.
Yes, you did.
What's going on?
Looks like we got a vigilante in our midst.
Shoot him in the face.
I hate to shatter your ego, but this ain't the first time I've had a gun pointed at me.
You don't.
So really quickly, she says, shoot him in the face. She is talking like a hardened criminal. She wants to be a hardened criminal, and that's the way that she thinks she needs to act. And she's going to have a major arc in this scene as well.
Take your fucking end off that case, it'll be your last.
Stop causing problems. You'll get us all killed. Give them what you got and get them out of here.
Shut the fuck up, fat man. This ain't none of your goddamn business.
So a little comedic relief there. Again, Jules just wants to take the case back to Marcellus Wallace. He's just trying to do his job. Businessman is telling him, just give him the case. Jules is protecting his scene interest. He's still trying to keep the case. He's trying to make sure that this situation diffuses and that he gets to keep the case and take it back to Marcellus.
Be cool, honey bunny, be cool. No problem, I got it under control. Now, I'm going to count to 3. If you don't open that case, I'm going to unload in your fucking face. We clear? 1. 2.
So let me point out some amazing scene dynamics here. 2 opposite desires. This man wants to rob Jules. Jules really wants to keep the case. But also, we're going to find out he has some intentions for this person on a more personal level. We have stakes, life and death with the gun here. And now this man is counting to 3 and needs an answer by the end of the count of 3. So we have a deadline. You can use all of that in your scripts. You can use deadlines. You always should have desire in your scenes, 2 conflicting desires, hopefully, and stakes. And that's what makes it compelling, is that we know from what we've seen earlier, this could end with one of them dead, both of them dead. We're interested and attached to both of these characters, so we care. And that's why this is kind of an amazing way to end a movie.
3.
Okay, Ringo. You win. It's yours.
Open it.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Is that what I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
God damn it, what is it? You let him go! You let him go! Let go of it!
So really quickly, just note how her demeanor is completely different from Jules. Again, Jules is the career criminal, and she is kind of the burgeoning criminal. And she is clearly not cool, and Jules just wants to make sure that he lives and is able to take the case back to Marcellus. And that is going to be his intention in the short term in this scene.
Tell that bitch to be cool. Say, bitch, be cool.
Be cool, honey.
Say, bitch, be cool. Tell that fucking bitch to chill.
Be cool, honey.
Chill that fucking bitch out.
Just chill out, honey bunny.
Chill.
Just chill out, honey bunny.
All right, now tell her it's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right.
Promise her.
I promise.
Tell her to chill.
Just chill out, honey bunny.
All right, now tell me your name.
Yolanda.
All right, now, Yolanda. We're not gonna do anything stupid, are we?
Don't you hurt him.
Nobody's gonna hurt anybody. We're all gonna be like three little Fonzies here.
So we see Jules' intention now. We didn't know if he was going to smoke this guy, but he's just trying to diffuse the situation. He's trying to make sure that everybody's cool. And he doesn't want any more death. He doesn't want any more violence. He's a changed person after ultimately the Lord protected him from death in his eyes and some other things that happened. But definitely he's a changed character from the first scene that we saw.
What's Fonzie like? Come on, Yolanda, what's Fonzie like?
Cool.
What?
Cool.
Correctamundo. And that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be cool. Now, Ringo.
So similar scene dynamics to the first scene. Jules is still very much in control, even though he has Yolanda pointing a gun at him, but he also has a gun on her partner, and that is his leverage. Jules is in charge, maybe to a lesser degree, but he's still going to act very different from the first scene that we saw.
I'm gonna count to three. And when I count three, I want you to let go your gun, put your palms flat on the table, and sit your ass down. But when you do it cool. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now you let him go!
Yolanda, I thought you were gonna be cool. Now, when you yell at me, it makes me nervous. And when I get nervous, I get scared. And when motherfuckers get scared, that's when motherfuckers accidentally get shot.
Just know, you hurt him, you die.
Well, that seems to be the situation.
So she's now setting the stakes. If you hurt him, you die. And so we completely understand how this scene is going to work. It's very clear, it's very binary, and that creates expectations for us and extremely heightened stakes.
But I don't want that. And you don't want that.
But now he doesn't want that. He's changed. He's a completely changed person, and he's about to diffuse a situation where earlier on in the day, he wouldn't have thought twice about killing these people. And he's going to go through great lengths to make sure that nobody gets hurt.
And Ringo here definitely doesn't want that. So let's see what we can do. Now, here's the situation. Normally, both your asses would be dead as fucking fried chicken. But you happen to pull this shit while I'm in a transitional period, and I don't want to kill you. I want to help you. But I can't give you this case, because it don't belong to me. Besides, I've been through too much shit over this case this morning to just hand it over to your dumb ass. Vincent, be cool!
So here we have an escalation. Vincent comes out of the bathroom and he points the gun at Yolanda. And now it's an even more tense standoff. But again, Jules is trying to stop Vincent from doing anything. This shows his character change because earlier on he was just going to play with his food before he killed it. That is amazing writing. That's great writing. Show how a character changes, show the sides of them, and show how they go on a journey, and show what they learn and how they learn it. That's what makes this scene amazing. And when you're writing your own scenes, you should try to figure out, how does your character start off? How does your character end up? And how do you earn that change throughout the story? This video is brought to you by UC Santa Cruz. UC Santa Cruz, go banana slugs.
Yolanda, it's cool, baby. It's cool. We still just talking. Come on, point the gun at me. Point the gun at me. There you go. Now, Vincent, you just hang back and don't do a goddamn thing. Tell him we're still cool.
Still cool, honey bunny.
How we doing?
Another thing that Jules says is point the gun at me. You know, he's being very sacrificing. He is still a very changed person. Earlier on, he has this God complex. He's very selfish. He's killing this person, but also asserting himself and saying, oh, you know, God told me to do this. And now he's saying, point the gun at me. Don't point it at Vincent. He's trying to save his friend's life. So again, you're seeing a huge change from the first scene.
Come on, baby.
I gotta go pee.
Again, she shows her vulnerability. She has to go to the bathroom. She's really nervous. She's really sad. She just thought this was going to be a casual robbery. But now the stakes are much higher. She's got a gun pointed at her. She's very scared. Jules is here to help, and she doesn't know that yet.
I'm gonna go home.
Just hang in there, baby. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. And Ringo's proud of you. It's almost over. Tell her you're proud of her.
Proud of you, honey bunny.
I love you.
I love you too, honey bunny.
Now, I want you to go in that bag and find my wallet.
Which one is it?
It's the one that says bad motherfucker.
Now, unfortunately, because of this movie, every insufferable person now has a bad motherfucker wallet. If this was shot in the present day, there would be 20 bad motherfucker wallets in his case. Intentions. Character intentions. Jules is trying to resolve the tension, trying to make sure there's no more violence, and Vincent is very violence prone to the point where he might have escalated this situation if Jules wasn't involved.
Come on, Yolanda. Stay with me, baby. Now, I ain't giving it to him, Vincent. I'm buying something for my money. You want to know what I'm buying, Ringo?
What?
Your life. I'm giving you that money so I don't have to kill your ass. You read the Bible, Ringo?
Not regularly, no.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
So when I first saw this, I was afraid because I don't really like to see a lot of violence on screen, and this was an extremely violent movie. And so I thought he was going to smoke Ringo right here when he started to say those same lines. That is the tension. That is the suspense that's really built into this scene.
And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. I've been saying that shit for years. And if you heard it, that meant your ass. I never gave much thought to what it meant. I just thought it was some cold-blooded shit to say to a motherfucker before I popped a cap in his ass. But I saw some shit this morning made me think twice. See, now I'm thinking, maybe it means you're the evil man, and I'm the righteous man. And Mr. 9mm here, he used to shepherd protecting my righteous ass in the valley of darkness. Or it could mean you're the righteous man, and I'm the shepherd. And it's the world that's evil and selfish. Now, I'd like that. But that shit ain't the truth. The truth is, you're the weak, and I'm the tyranny of evil men.
So he starts to psychoanalyze himself and starts to interpret his own actions and try to figure out why he was doing what he was doing. But as he's doing that, he starts to realize that there's a completely different interpretation for his life. There's a way that he can follow his philosophy, but also save lives instead of taking lives.
But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. Go.
Another interesting context is that he wants to leave the life of crime. He wants to walk the earth like Caine in Kung Fu. He just didn't want to commit another crime right there. He wanted to save lives again and not take lives. And here are 2 lives that he ultimately saves because they're never going to commit another crime ever again. And he went down the life of crime and he realizes that it's not right. It wasn't the way for him to live his life.